Hey guys, it's Mike in the garage making some beer again. We got another unique kit to show you this week. So you might remember from a few years back, we've done this 2 times already. You remember these kits from Muntons? So this was the big Mylar bag kit. You just added water to it, put yeast in it, and the effect was supposed to be the bag would inflate as would get firm as it fermented, and you would trap some of that carbonation. Anyway, long story short, these kits never really worked well for me. I only use it twice. We bumped into the good folks at Muntons at HomebrewCon 2022 out in Pittsburgh. And I asked, do you still make that product? They said, we don't make that product anymore. But now they have a new product out on the market, which is not to be a surprise. These guys are trying to innovate really easy ways to get people into the hobby. So if you're not an all-grain brewer and you're an extract brewer, this is something for you to check out for sure. So they have this no boil kit set up, which a lot of extract you can get away with no boil as long as you're super careful. But they sent us this new kit. This is the Hazy Zesty Fruity Hazy IPA kit. They gave this to us after we talked to them at HomebrewCon. And so this kit is just another innovation from Muntons. And let's be honest, it's an extract kit. But, you know, Muntons, these guys are, you know, some of the top people making extract. So why not give it a go? This kit's pretty simple. They just give you 2 cans of extract. This is for a 23 liter recipe, or 5 gallons, a little over 5 gallons. They give you the extract, they give you hop pellets, 3 packs of hop pellets, and they give you some mystery yeast. They're premium Muntons yeast they give you too. So all you do is you add this to some warm water to get the extract to dissolve, and then you top it up with water, and there's a instruction sheet. Add some hops on day 2, maybe I'll capture some of that, and then some hops late on day 10, and you let it ferment and make some beer. So I'm gonna capture some B-roll of me adding these ingredients together and putting them in the fermenter. The only thing I'm gonna change up about this kit a little bit is I might bring my own yeast to the party, only because I haven't always had great luck with that yeast in the Muntons kits. Sorry, Muntons, but that's just the way it's gonna be. So I'm gonna use my own yeast for this kit. So we're going to give it a go. I'm going to shoot some B-roll, and then you're going to see us tasting it with John in the basement. Cheers.
Hey, it's John. I'm here at the bar, and we're going to drink this beer that he brewed back in the garage. All right, Michael, it's supposed to be zesty. It's hazy for sure.
Yeah, super hazy. Let me get
juicy.
that on the camera. Look at that. I mean, it's pretty opaque. It's got that really nice orange color. I mean, it's a little bit darker than I would normally expect, but it's kind of, I think it's kind of a cool color. So you know, you saw, so this is a no boil extract kit. So you know, I sanitized my fermenter. I bought 5 gallons of spring water, put that in my fermenter, and then when doing with extract, especially from cans, I've always liked with liquid extract in cans, I actually boil up about a couple gallons of water in a pot, and I just put those extract cans in there for like 10 minutes to get it loosened up.
True.
Open them up, poured them in to the fermenter, and then topped up with water up to my 5.5 gallon mark or so, a little bit stronger than I think the kit actually recommends. And then I use I used my wine whip on the drill to make sure it was stirred in.
Nice.
That way I didn't have to actually do the warm water, cold water trick, because I knew with that thing I could get it to fully dissolve in the thing. And I pitched my own yeast. I didn't use the Muntons yeast, so this is with the Lallemand Windsor ale yeast, only because it's an opportunity for me to continue to experiment with that yeast, so I added that into this kit too. It comes with these boxed kits, come with very cool, just straight up visual instructions. I don't expect you to see that whole thing on the side camera, but it's all visual instructions. I was a little confused by what it meant. Stage 2, 2 minutes. Stage 3, 2 minutes. Like, wait a minute, am I doing that in 2 minutes and this 2 minutes? But what it meant is on day 1. So once,
it only takes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
To do.
So Citra. So the hops in this are Citra and Mosaic. So it's 2 packages of Citra and Mosaic went in. Once it was in the fermenter, and then 10 days into it, another package of Citra and Mosaic went in as well too. And then they talk about bottling it. I didn't bottle it, I kegged it just to make my life easier. So, but it's pretty straightforward, you know, just no boil. I was in and out of there in like 30 minutes after I had prepped everything. I was good to go. Keep things super sanitary. So a little extra attention to making sure stuff was hit the star sand really well.
Sure.
Kits like this, I think, if you're itching to brew and you want to spend a little bit extra money on, I think as an all-grain brewer, we're used to spending a certain amount of money per batch, and the extract does tend to be more expensive. But if you're really itching to brew and you just want to get something in there, so far the process is super easy. I'll let you comment on whether or not you enjoy this beer you're halfway through with it. So.
That's why it's like super kind of easy to drink. I was noticing the level on my pint glass and said, all right, well, that's an indication that it's okay. At first sip, you have to kind of get used to it. It's not as, there's something about the no boil beer. It doesn't seem as fresh as the ones that I'm equating this to our first viewer submitted recipe, which was basically the same kind of style with extract, but I boiled that, and I think that's the big difference between what I'm tasting here. The hop aroma and flavor seems fresh, that's for sure. It's just the backbone of it does not. There's something a little flabby about it, or something is just, and the way I'm describing it, it just doesn't seem fresh. It seems like there's just something a little bit off. It's just not as tasty as.
I think I get what you're saying. I like the aroma. I find it to be pretty fruity. That citra mosaic are coming through pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think the flavor of those hops are there, but I think after I swallow it, there's a little bit of there's not a crisp finish to the malt aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
And so here's the thing with extract too, right? Is I don't know, all I did was use the spring water, which is all pretty low mineral content. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
In fact, I usually just treat it as if it was distilled or RO water. But extract generally has minerals profile in it to begin with. I don't know if Muntons trying to make a hazy, fruity IPA, whether or not is the salt profile in that extract leaning towards chloride or not. I don't know. Maybe Muntons will chime in and let us know in the comments, but that could be some of it too. But the thing is, it's what I remember of extract beer sort of coming out. This fermented down to about 1013. So relatively speaking, it's actually attenuated pretty well, down from like 1052-ish. Attenuated pretty well. I remember extract often sort of having this residual body in your mouth, and this doesn't seem to have that.
No.
Right? It seems to be a little bit thinner, if you will, on that finish, which is a good fermentation and a attenuatable extract. So maybe those combination of those things is contributing to your sense of freshness.
It's almost I'm just trying to pull out any malt presence in this, and it's as I'm closer to the bottom of my pint glass, I'm getting not any. It seems like every sip, it seems like there's less and less malt presence there at all.
There's a really a faint touch of bitterness that I remember from tasting. I was curious after I had dumped the cans and actually had tasted some of the extract in one of the cans, and I was surprised, I guess, in a sense, to realize that was hopped malt extract. So there were two cans. One of them was just traditional, there was no labeling on the cans, not even a printed on the top or bottom. It was just two cans. One of them was looked like a golden extract, right? Sort of a little bit lighter than that in color.
Yep.
The other one was similar in color, but definitely had some other white foaminess to it that I assumed might have been a wheat extract, which wheat extract tends to be 50-50 pale malt, and so maybe to get you that cloudiness, or maybe there's actually something in there to force there to be haze, and that's what I was seeing in that other extract. But the first one, the golden one on its own, was definitely a hopped extract.
Yeah.
And so that's what I can taste it, remembering what it tasted like from the extract. I can still taste it in here. It's not off-putting, it's just a little bit of bitterness. And the rest of it's just all those late edition hops for character.
Okay, so you buy this kit and you want to put something in a fermenter. How much time did it take you, start to finish on brew day?
Oh, it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes. That's nothing.
I think that's a good trade-off for this product. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a lot of people would really probably really just like this beer straight up, and it's advertised as being 5% ABV, right? I think with my attenuation, it came in like this was supposed to be 23 liters, and I only did about 5.5 gallons. 23 liters is actually closer to 6-ish gallons, I think. I probably should have calculated that before we jumped on. There's going to be some comments. So anyway, I started a little bit stronger than I think what their recommendation is. But yeah, I don't know. For 30 minutes, I think it's good. They have other versions too. They've got a West Coast, an American Pale Ale, an American Amber Ale, and they have a milk stout, which they call Rich Creamy Velvet. So that's kind of, I don't know. It would be interesting to run the Rich Creamy Velvet and just see, does it hold enough body to still be rich, creamy, and velvety? So, but I don't know. I think for ease of use, sometimes in a busy world, you have to appreciate. I recently did a cider. Throwing a cider together really only takes like 30 minutes too.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're really just trying to, if you want to make some alcoholic beverages, this is a pretty good option. I think this is the most hop lively no boil extract thing I think of.
Absolutely,
okay?
yeah.
So I think that's a win.
Yeah,
that's
it's a total
win,
yes,
right?
I agree.
Maybe it's just a function of rebalancing. Maybe add a little maltodextrin powder to this kit if you were to brew it more than one time to support a little bit more body in there.
And that was the sort
or
of.
maybe if I'd used the Muntons yeast, maybe that would be less attenuative, and it would have given.
I was going to ask you what you thought you got out of that yeast, but you think that attenuation is what you get out of that yeast, or?
Well, I think the Windsor yeast that I use is more attenuative, at least from my historical perspective,
than
when I use
provide.
like the packet that's in the box, right? It's just less yeast, first of all, in that little packet than there is in a Lalaman packet, which would probably maybe give you some degree of less attenuation.
Sure.
And so maybe that would support a little bit more of the maltiness. Maybe I screwed it up from that standpoint. But I like my beers to be drier.
Yes, I agree. So. All right, so the trade-off is, maybe you don't have the, and this is how it is with any extract beer. You may not have as much control over the malty presence in the final beer, but man, 30 minutes of a brew day, that's pretty sweet, I mean, most, 4 hours condensed to a half an hour. Yeah. Pretty darn good. So, okay, well, thanks to the people at Muntons. Another great kit to try out, and certainly helps Mike grab some more beer into his fridge. What happened to your fridge anyway, man? What happened to it?
I was getting tired of it. Off it went.
Hit the road. Just a program note, I hope you appreciate this video, but we are planning to do a live video on November 5th. It's Learn to Homebrew Day. And we are going to, be a part of all that. We're going to brew the Big Brew, the recipe that they put out to learn the homebrew.
For the Learn to Homebrew Day, yeah. We might convert it to an all-grain recipe.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. Why brew extract when you can brew all grain? Can I brew my own? Like, if you brew that? All right.
Yeah. I was going to ask you to brew that, and I'll brew my own.
Ah, darn it. Well, I got my harvest ale that I want to do.
Yeah, do that. No,
I've got so many hops in my fridge from all around the neighborhood. If you include my brother's house as part of the neighborhood or something, it's not really a part of the neighborhood. But like, I have all this. I gotta get rid of it. Like, either brew it or it's just gotta go away.
Yep.
Like your fridge.
Yeah.
Get out.
Gotta go.
So. All right, well, stay tuned for that. So that'll be a live feed, November 5th. That's a Saturday. We'll figure out the time, but it'll be Eastern afternoon time of the United States. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, because we do this kind of thing every single week. For John and Mike, brew-juice.com, brew on.
Cheers. No juicy. Okay.
Hey, it's John, and I'm here in the basement. Did I cut you off? I cut you off. Hold on, I'll do it again.